Hey, what up, guys? Everybody doing all right? Jared, what's up, man?
Man, dude, we're great. Grizz win, baby. Especially after last night. Flush it, like Josh said. Get a double digit win, man. Love it.
Yeah, what a game, man. Grizzlies won 128 to 103 against the Indiana Pacers, which is interesting because I think it was I was kind of relatively concerned about this Indiana Pacers game just because of the way the Grizzlies lost last night. And then you saw Indiana playing against Oklahoma City in the first game of the year, and the level of scrappiness that they had in that game. I was like, man, like this is going to be a kind of a tough game, I think, for the Grizzlies because of how the Grizzlies want to play. It kind of feels like um uh the is like maybe like a year or two ahead of them in terms of the way that they want to build their roster and how
Yeah.
they want to play. But there were moments, I think, during this game where things were in the balance a little bit, but for the majority of the game, the Grizzlies really responded well from last night.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, they got up 19 in the second quarter, and then I believe Indiana closed it down well into single digits, like 7 or 8 at one point. And then Memphis in the third quarter, Indiana started to go on a little bit more of a run. And then you really saw the bench step up tonight, which is, I guess, where we lacked last night, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But really, it's just, yeah, I agree with you 100%. It feels like Indiana is just ahead of us overall roster construction wise by a couple of years. But tonight, I think you really saw what T.I. wants out of his entire bench. And so, like, not just Cedric Coward, who we'll touch on here in a little bit, but guys were playing into empty gaps on offense, just finding their ways. Everyone was swarming to rebounds. I believe we out-rebounded them tonight. Let's see. I have it pulled up. Let's see. Indiana had 53 rebounds. We had 67. We had 67 total rebounds tonight. And so everyone was just contributing and cashing in on open spots on the floor and really just making life easy on everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many things from last night's game that Luke and I talked about where things that we were concerned about in terms of how they played. Obviously, I think, and I think you would agree with me in this, we're not sitting here having hard conversations about the Grizzlies based off of one game, right?
No.
Like based off of what happened last night. There are trends and things that were concerning about what we saw that need to be fixed, right?
Yeah.
And I think that the Grizzlies absolutely responded in a real way to some of those things, specifically rebounding. And then I think for me, the number one stat that I saw that I thought was just incredible, 6 turnovers in the entirety of the game.
Yes, the ball security was so much cleaner. Every pass looked more crisp. Every time an entry pass hit the deck, Memphis swooped it up real fast, was not letting Indiana, almost said Golden State, but that's Monday, was not letting Indiana, get to the ball at all. So just a much cleaner game, just a lot more focus.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Walk us through some of the other stats. I need to send Parish Sharkey. Parish Sharkey is going to be coming on. He's at the arena right now. And he is going to be coming on. I need to send him this link. So walk through some of the other stats that you like from the game while I do that.
So yeah, we'll start just with the starters for right now. KCP, he had 10 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Was a -7. You look at Jock Londale, who was actually a +19. I didn't like his overall game tonight, but he had 8 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, had 4 offensive rebounds. That's the best part he had all night. Jaren, a 17-point performance. I only had 3 fouls and only had 2 in the first half, 1 in the rest of the game. He did very well tonight, much more improved, only 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Let's see, Ja tonight, 5 of 14 from the field, 19 points, 3 fouls, only him, 8 assists. Once again, his assist number has gone up in each of the first 3 games tonight, this season so far as well. Was 0 for 2 from 3 tonight. Jalen Wells didn't have a great game, 2 of 10 from the field, 0 of 7 from 3, but he was clamps on defense. He had nothing popping up in blocks and steals, but point of attack defense tonight. He got posted up several times, especially in the third quarter, and he held his own very well, especially against Pascal Siakam.
Man, we've got to talk. Absolutely, those numbers are great. Jalen didn't have a great shooting night, but I think he impacted winning in a way that a guy like Jalen Wells can, right? Like,
yeah.
When you think of previous Grizzlies players and like how maybe Jalen matches up with some of those guys, I look at a guy like Shane Battier, right?
Mm-hmm.
A guy who is a decent outside shooter, is big enough to where he can get his dribble off. He can get into the lane, make baskets. But
Yeah.
he impacts winning in so many different ways. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing with Jalen right now.
Yep.
While he's finding his shot, you're going to see him do things that are going to impact winning, such as rebounding. He rebounded the ball really well tonight, and he defended very, very well tonight.
Yeah, because, once Pascal got switched on to him several times, try to back him down in the post, low post, high post, either way. Like I said, walled him off very well. You told me to go through stats. I'm going to talk about it because it's going to get lost. John Contra had himself a really good night tonight.
Really good night.
A really good night. He had 9 points, was everywhere, 5 rebounds on the floor. He had 2 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. The man was everywhere. I talked about early, as soon as we started the show, I talked about how I liked everyone was plugging gaps on offense and defense. John Conchar was affecting every single play in his, how many minutes did he finish with? In his 24 minutes tonight. Yeah.
Oh, he's plus 29, 24
yeah,
minutes.
Plus 29. Right. He played 24-37.
Yep. Man. Yeah, I kind of, to help me kind of figure, to talk through things, I write notes down, right? Like I write notes and try to, kind of keep things in my brain. What I wrote down about John Conchar was that it was an instant jitty game for John Conchar. Instantly, you could tell he was jitty and not John, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh
and so you kind of saw him out there doing what he was doing, and it was the very things like it's the things that you're never gonna try to use him in any other way other than what he was doing, right?
No, and you saw it in the first game of the year where he came in for a stretch of 7 minutes and then didn't see the floor the rest of the night because, like I said, it was John. And tonight you got Jitty, who's everywhere, which fits. When John is Jitty, it fits so much of what T.I. loves to do with how much they want to run and be every single place. But, man.
Exactly. Anthony said this. I don't know if you saw the clip that we've had on his show where he talked about the art of the quick pull. It's something that Taylor Jenkins was never able to figure out, that you don't have to play bench players long stretches of runs if they're not going well. Like, hey, Jitty, if you're looking shitty, we're pulling you off, right? Like, but he's always going to go back to him, right? Like he's always going to go back, and it is determining on what is he looking like, and you instantly within the first couple possessions up and down the floor, you go, this is going to be one of those games for him.
Yeah,
and truthfully, it was one of those games for the entire bench mob.
Yes.
Like the bench was super impactful tonight.
Yeah, only 10 total guys before garbage time getting run. You look at it, Cedric Coward, 27 points, John Conchar, 9, Aldama, 9, Javon Small, 16 points. Then you look at Cam Spencer, who had 8 points as well. So just like the entire bench stepped up tonight on a night where you needed it, on a back-to-back night where you got blown out the night before and your starters, actually no one on the team looked good, but you're about to go out west too, which is always a hard road trip for Memphis to take. You needed a big bench unit night.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you had Ja, who played 22 minutes last night. I said on the post-game bounce that I thought, like, legitimately it was probably only 10 minutes of actual basketball, right? Like 12 minutes of him just BSing out there. But tonight, really really pretty cool minutes distribution all the way around. Like, Jalen and Ja had the most minutes in the game with 27 apiece, 27 minutes apiece. And then you had everybody else that played outside of Cam Spencer, and the garbage time guys, PJ Hall, Olivier, Maxis Prosper, and Gigi. They all had 20 plus minutes and were super effective out there, like really effective. The only player that didn't have a positive plus minus was Contavious Caldwell-Pope. He had a rough game, but he still impacted with 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, only 1 turnover. He had 10 points. He didn't shoot the ball incredibly well, but he still impacted winning, right?
Yeah, he impacted winning. He is a vet. That's what we needed a vet to do, impact winning all over the place. We didn't ask him to come out here and score 20 points a game. Now, there will be nights where he drops 20 or 25, maybe even 30 on a rare night. But like I said, he didn't play good, had a minus on the stat sheet, but you still looked at plays, especially in the third quarter when that game shrunk to a small lead before it bubbled back out, where KCP, once again, was just all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about some of these bench guys for just a second.
Okay.
And we're gonna get to the Drew. Drew keeps
Drew's spamming it.
Drew spamming it. He keeps saying, "Say his name." We're gonna say his name. We're gonna talk about him in a second. But let's talk about Santi Aldama for a second. I really liked what Santi Aldama did tonight. What did he have? He had 9 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, and only 1 foul with 0 turnovers. Played 20 minutes, was a plus 13 out there. I just thought he really he didn't overextend himself, but made shots when he had the shots available to him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he took 1 3 tonight where he didn't get the full follow through on the 3. It was one of those quick, as soon as he got to his apex, he immediately pulled it back and you knew it was good the entire way. Tonight was also the first night of this short 3-game season that we've had so far that I thought Santi didn't look a half step or a full step behind the rest of the defense.
Yeah.
He looked to be plugged in with the other 5 guys on the floor. And man, another huge block, had one against Zion in the Pelicans game. It had another huge one in the early in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He's playing so much better defense. And I don't know. I hope we never see Matador Santi Aldama again. But dadgummit, he's playing some solid defense in the early parts of the season.
We've already talked about John Conchar a little bit, and we're going to talk about he who shall not be named in 1 second. But let's talk about Javon Small for 1 second. 3 games in. Tonight's game against Indiana felt like it was one of the first times that we've seen him kind of take what he was doing in summer league and preseason.
Yeah.
And it looked more familiar. Those first 2 games, I think there's a level of trying to kind of figure out what your minutes are, figure out all those kinds of things. And then, what your role is and how you're going to be able to move with the team, with the regular roster. It felt like tonight, he did a really, really good job of that.
Yeah, I think he's finally settling into to that. And whenever we get Scotty back, now granted that could be a while. That could be a long while before we get Scotty back, and we get Ty Jerome back. You look at other 2 guys. You look at John Conchar and Cam Spencer, who maybe not get these big number minutes when we get those 2 guys back. But the emergence of Javon Small, this early part of the season, it allows us to have a true backup point guard to where maybe we can use Scotty and Ty Jerome almost like a more miniature scattering off the bench to where you can allow, Scotty to be a true 2 guard, which he's much more of a scoring guard than a point guard, in my opinion. But with what Javon Small's been able to show, yes, 16 points, but he's had 6 assists again tonight. Mm-hmm. He's showing you that he can be a really good serviceable backup point guard out of the second round. Once again, Zach Kleiman finding another second-round stud who's getting thrown into the fire in game 1 of an 82 season, and now we're in game 3, and he's showing us that he's going to be really good so far. I mean, it's going to open up the bench scoring so much more from what we already saw tonight.
Yeah, and it's so what's interesting about all of the rookies that the Grizzlies have this season is that Javon Small is pointing. He's one of the main representatives of this. Is that he looks like he's already ready to play the NBA basketball game, right? Mm-hmm. Even as a point guard, he's an athlete, but he's got that physical body. Like, he's a broad kid. He's got a lot of muscle on him already. That West Virginia stock, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just he's physically looks like he is adjusted extremely well already, which is tough for most players coming into the NBA, especially in the guard role. Like, when you're a guard, you're so used to being able to just dominate athletically, right? Like, dominate most games, no matter what level you've played, just because of your pure athleticism. When you get into the NBA, everybody's athletic. Everybody's the high level alpha elite athlete in their city, and they're coming from wherever they came from. And Javon Small feels like he's kind of physically and mentally kind of bypassing some of those growing pains that you need to have as you're getting into this league. We'll see some. I think we'll see some moments where he looks like a rookie. But these first 3 games has been even defensively, his ability to use his hands without fouling, the ability to play defense without fouling, to play defense and get, take the ball from people. It's super unique, and I'm impressed with what I've seen with Javon Small so far.
And Wayno kind of alluding to it in the comments. The Grizzlies the last 2 years have gone out and drafted more of an athletic style. You look at Cedric, obviously, with a 9 pick. That's the guy they wanted. Obviously, that's just a raw talent right there. But you look at Javon Small, just kind of like you were alluding to, broad shoulders for a point guard and an athlete who, is really good at a point guard role.
Yeah.
You can plug and play on the court that early when you have an athlete. And then the smaller little intricacies of NBA basketball will Kimmy, we're about to get rioted on here in a second, but real quick, it's just when you draft athletes right out of college or wherever they're coming from, you can plug and play them and worry about the smaller intricacies later, and they'll grow throughout the year. We saw that with Jalen Wells last year because remember that stretch in like January, February, May where he lit it up last year. And then we're seeing it with Cedric Coward already right now, where his athleticism is already starting to let me rephrase that. His basketball is starting to catch up with its athleticism already now. Javon Small, athletic. Yes, his basketball looks really good, but it's only going to get better. You draft these athletic guys, there's so much more plug and play than what you can do.
All right.
Okay. We've been threatened with a bedtime by Drew.
Do it. This is what it's called. This is what's called bearing the lead. Rusty says, talk about coward, you cowards. Wayno, COWARD, give the people what they want. All right. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm pissed at Cedric Coward, and I'll tell you why. I do not like when somebody literally is so good at what they do.
Oh, gosh.
That, like, whatever they do turns out good for them. Like, I have to fight to be good at the things that I'm good at. Cedric Coward is one of the most frustrating guys to watch play basketball because everything he does looks good. Like, everything he does, anytime he messes up, it turns into something good. Like, I got an example for you. I wrote this down because I thought, and I'm an idiot and I closed my notebook, but let me find this. 6:37 left in the third quarter. There's a play where Cedric Coward, they had the ball on the wing, and Cedric Coward was on the top of the key, and he dove to the basket, came around a screen, dove to the basket, caught the ball, took a dribble, and then it kind of went shaky. It kind of went woo like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to secure the ball and immediately pass it out to Tripp for a wide open three, for a bucket, for a wide open three on the wing. And I was just like, this pisses me off. Like, you're not supposed to be able to, like, be a 6'5" shooting guard rookie, third game in his NBA career, and be able to make mistakes like that and still have the wherewithal and the ability to know exactly, I'm going to secure this and I'm going to make the right pass, like the right pass to the 7-foot unicorn that can shoot threes for our team, Jaren Jackson Jr.
It's annoying, dude, but I'm so glad it's on our team. It's annoying, but I'm so glad it's here with us. But the wherewithal, like kind of like you just alluded to control yourself when you feel yourself being out of control, gather yourself, look up, and not second guess yourself to make that right pass to an open Jaren for his only three of the night. We got blessed by trading up to number 9 and getting this guy, man. It's so many things, dude. Because Rusty talked about it. That backwards layup was insane too. You're like, how are you hitting this as a rookie? And
bro, Jarris Walker is 6'9", like 230. Jarris Walker is a freak, athletically, physically strong. And Cedric walked him down the paint and then just like he did what like my daughter has asked me to play basketball with her before. She's 13 years old. And I it's hard for me to play basketball now. Like my body doesn't want to do the things that I want it to do, like, but whatever. But I just kind of play with her. I kind of keep the ball over my head and I just like do this, all that kind of stuff. And I'll flip the ball up at the free, and there's nothing she can do about it because I'm just taller and bigger than she is. That's what he did to Jarris Walker on that play. Like a reverse over his head layup is like clowning dude. Like that's, he clowned him.
He jumped backwards, was full in control of his body, was looking at the backboard with his back to the backboard, and the right hand is off the corner of the white box and in for an easy bucket. You mentioned how he gathered himself back under control and had that kick out. After his fourth straight made three, how many rookies are you seeing after they get the ball back? How many rookies do you see that are going to take that next fifth three and then miss it?
Right.
Instead, Cedric Coward drives to the bucket, doesn't make the shot, but gets fouled and goes to the free throw line because that's where the open lane was and knew where he could best utilize his skill set. He's not going to force anything, Kenny. That's what I love about it. That's probably one of my favorite assets of Cedric Coward, aside from all the athleticness that he brings, is the fact that he's not going to force anything and he's always going to make the smart play.
Let me ask you this. There was a lot of talk about, we've said this a lot on Bluff City Media's network throughout the offseason when Cedric Coward was drafted, when we saw the things that he could do, when we heard some of the things that were coming out from training camp. Mm-hmm. I said this multiple times. I think you've said this multiple times all of our networks. My theory on it was that if Cedric Coward can hit for the Grizzlies, it changes things for the Grizzlies, right? Like it changes a lot in terms of like moves you can make. It changes the ceiling for what the Grizzlies can do because now you have a guy who is a 6'5" shooting guard with a ridiculous wingspan and a talent level and an IQ to match. And it just changes things. It changes, what the Grizzlies can do. Coming into, but everybody was like, pump the brakes, brakes, right? Like this guy is he's not played basketball in a long time. He came from a D3, then he went D2, then he went to Washington State, and then he got hurt. He hasn't played a lot of ball in his time. Pump the brakes on who this guy is. But then you hear guys like Coach David Thorpe on, I think on the Chris Vernon show when he was drafted saying that was my favorite player in the entire draft over a Cooper Flagg, over all these other guys that were drafted ahead of him, calling him like baby Michael Jordan, right? And so you see all those different things. And then he comes out in the preseason and you see the talent level, you see the things that he can do, but there was very clear, like, I'm still trying to figure out how to get my body to move the way that I want it to, right? Like I haven't played in such a long time. My 3-point shot looks good, but it's just not going in. I said this throughout the whole time, like, hey, listen, the shot looks amazing.
Yep.
Don't worry about that it's not going in because it will go in at some point.
Well, and as soon as he said that after the first preseason game in his post-game media scrum, and he said, I put too much work in to worry about it. I'm going to be fine. As soon as he said that, that's when I'm like, okay, yeah, we have nothing to worry about with Cedric Coward.
Yeah, I mean, and then he comes out in the first 3 games of the year, and he went 5 for 5 the first game. He missed 1 shot or 2 shots yesterday against Miami.
He was 5 for 9.
5 for 9. Oh, he missed 4 shots. Okay, so he went 5 for 9.
And then he was 2 of 5 from 3.
2 of 5 from 3. And then tonight, 9 for 12 from the field, 6 for 6, 7 for 7 from 3-point line.
Yes.
I mean, just went off tonight.
Yeah, tonight. Yeah, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 9 of 13 from the field.
I mean, just
4 rebounds or 6 rebounds, 4 assists.
Do we still need to pump the brakes on this guy?
No. Like
really?
I said that very quickly. No, I don't think so. Because I mean, yes, it could just be a hot start, but that's why with an injury, that's why you play him in preseason though. A guy like that who hasn't played in over a year or about a year, that's why you played him in preseason to get those kinks worked out. I mean, if you look at the preseason too, his first through third quarters in all 5 preseason games were not good. But then you look at his fourth quarters, where crunch time goes, was really good. But with Cedric Coward, I don't think we have to pump the brakes simply because he's proven he's going to be good. He's proven he's got it. And also, too, NBA coaches who watched the man play for so long, college coaches who watched the man play, said, hey, he's going to be fine.
Yeah. Hey, look, we got him in. Yeah. Let's get P Shark in here. Parish is over at the FedEx Forum. Parish Sharkey is the man, all the videos, all the writing, everything you see coming out from the Memphis Grizzlies. Parish is at the FedEx Forum right now. Parish, I want to ask you this question, bro. Should we pump the brakes on Cedric Coward love? Is it too early to go? This kid is real, and he is. We need to put all stock in Cedric Coward at this point.
I don't think we need to pump any type of brakes, man. He's shown us a lot, man. After night one, I was I was old and he ain't even shot the ball well. Now he's actually shot the ball. He went with 6 for 6 and 3 tonight. Even at the end of the game when he had 27 points and we all like, hey, go on, let him get his 30 piece. He was unselfish enough to steal that Javon Small lead, right? So no, we ain't got to put no brakes on Cedric Coward, man. We have to go and put all our stock in. He's ready.
What does Cedric Coward hitting like this, like being like us going full gas on Cedric Coward, what does it do for the Grizzlies, do you think?
It takes us to the next level, right? It puts us in the upper echelon of the Western Conference. It puts us in that Western Conference Finals at least competing, right? Man, that's a two-way player. That's all the compliments we've had. We heard Kawhi Leonard, right? We got this type of player. When you think about that, then you combine that with John Morant, and then Jaren Jackson Jr. Hey, what Michael Jordan said at one time: the ceiling is the roof.
The ceiling ain't the roof.
The ceiling is the roof.
Oh, the
It
ceiling
is
is
the
the
roof.
roof.
Yeah, it is the roof. If that's the
What
case.
what is I heard on the broadcast, you were in the arena. The crowd went nuts for Cedric Coward, started chanting Cedric Coward's name. Like, I mean, are the Memphis fans in the building? Are they as excited as we all were on Twitter on the X
Oh yeah,
timeline?
yeah, definitely. So even like what we said in the media row on the pinnacle level, it was some guys like just kind of sitting behind us, just kind of watching. I mean, every little play he made, it was like, ooh, like
Yeah.
you know, that guy's it. That guy's dead, right? Can't wait to see him start. That was the next, thing. So, hey, the Grizzlies, man, they messed around and got him one.
So
I think
that's one of the things I wanted to ask you. Like, what are the next steps here, right? Like, let me. He's first or second off the bench most of the time. He had 23 minutes tonight. Played 23 minutes tonight. It's kind of been the average for him these first 3 games of the year. How quickly do we see um, the kind of the reins being loosened off of Cedric in terms of the role that he plays, the minutes that he has, the minutes that he gets for this team? Like, let's be even frank about it. How long until he becomes one of the starters?
I don't know if we can put a number on it. It's kind of tough because like the people that's starting in front of him are perfect compliments to Ja Morant right now in this current moment with KCP and with Kenny, what you want to be called, Kenny Caldwell Pope, and Jalen Wells. Um, man, I don't know. I would say soon. I don't know how soon, but soon. It's hard to really put a number because you just don't. I don't know. It's really tough, man. It's really tough because you kind of got to wait till you see the whole lineup too. Like, what does it look like when Zach Edey is back in, right? What does it look like when Ty Jerome's come out the bench? Would you prefer Cedric Coward to pair with Ty Jerome coming out the bench? Would you rather him in starting lineup with Edey? Who does he replace if he is starting? Does he replace Kenny? Does he replace Jalen Wells? There's a lot of things to go into it, but yeah, if he keep putting pressure like he has these first 2 games, somebody's spot getting taken.
We were asked, I think Anthony did this on his show earlier on before the season started, and he asked the question: starting 5 at the beginning of the year, and then
Oh
starting
yeah,
5 in January. And I said my opinion was the starting 5 in the beginning of the year would be Ja Morant, it would be KCP, it'd be Jalen Wells, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jock Landale, and that's clearly what
yeah.
has been the starting lineup for the first 3 games of this year. By January, I said I think Cedric Coward's going to be in that starting lineup. I think it's going to be Ja, Jalen, Jaren, Zach Edey. Is that a possibility?
I think you were a little too late.
You think I'm too late?
Maybe should have said by December, maybe even by Thanksgiving.
Maybe by Thanksgiving? Oh, man. Dude.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's gonna be hard to deny him that. But I think I would say the what we could press pause on, maybe not. He will eventually hit the rookie wall. That might just be a way happen after he becomes a starter. Who knows? But all rookies kind of go through that once they get through the real grind, playing more games, playing more games than they ever played. Especially a player like him, he's still on the play 6 games his last college year, so he will eventually probably hit some type of wall. But the thing with him, his defense, he's still gonna be very, very productive no matter what.
That's what is so unique about his game. Is Jared and I were talking in the green room prior to the going live. Is it's not often you see a rookie whose basketball IQ matches his physical abilities this quickly, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the unique things about Cedric is that I feel like he has such a high basketball IQ. And I think there's a level of every NBA player has an ego, but there's a level of like even what you saw tonight, him going 6 for 6 from threes and then passing the ball to Javon and passing the ball to KCP on that fast break, the little bounce pass he made to KCP on the fast break, letting dudes eat, getting the ball to guys who are open, making the right play, making the good pass, still fighting for rebounds, still playing defense.
I saw that a lot because he did it with Javon Small. Like I said, that was when he had the 27 points. We like, hey, gotta let him get 30. He on fast break, he can very well say, hey, I'm about to get my 30.
Right.
But now that bounce past KCP, that passed Javon Small because Javon Small Javon Small had like 8 points, and then he had his run, had 8 straight to finish with 16 at the end of the game when we were hoping Cal would get his 30. So, yeah, that
man, he is cold. Jared, what you got, man? You got anything for Parish?
I mean, not really. Just talk about what you saw from one John Conchar tonight, who was Jitty and not John.
Hey, respect. I have nothing but respect for John Conchar. He's just that player, man. Where we are right now, 5 players out, need somebody to come in, provide a spark. He's gonna hustle. He's gonna hustle, man. When you need rebounding, we've been struggling with rebounds. We finally out rebounded the opponent tonight. John Cartwright came to the game, instantly had 3 rebounds in the first quarter. Also had like 2 steals, like on 3 straight defensive possessions when the team was struggling. Like then had the fast break layups, right? John ran through that perfect pass. Hey, you just gotta give it up to Judy, man. That's just a plug and play player who always gonna be ready. And he's always been ready every time. Like he don't do too much to mess up. Yes, he ain't flashy, he ain't finna drop 20, 30 points. But he does the intangibles. He's this type of player that is good to always have around your team.
And Kenny and I were talking earlier about, Jalen Wells, his impact. Wasn't a good shooting night from Wells at all. But you look at it, his defense, his point of attack defense, especially when he was getting back down by Siakam a couple times. Just talk about what he brings more to the table, because we've gotten accustomed to him shooting the ball pretty well, but also, too, he's bringing a lot more as far as ball handling and especially on the defensive end of the ball, too.
Yeah, definitely, man. Applying pressure. I remember DeMichael Cole, when on his Locked On podcast, he was saying during the preseason how the Grizzlies, without dropping rent, right? And then applying pressure on the rim, not applying pressure at the rim, right? You need more guys like that. Jalen Wells, he said himself on media day, he'll be trial by error with him ball handling a little more. He's doing well with it, right? I haven't seen too many just crazy turnovers take the team on. The team only had 4 turnovers tonight.
Yeah.
As a team, like that's wild. But yeah.
Only 4 turnovers and 11 more rebounds.
Yep, exactly. One rebounding. The paint points was that has nothing to do with Jalen Wells, but that's another thing that was getting killed on defense in the paint the last 2 games. Did well with that as well. But yeah, Jalen Wells, man, definitely improved that ball handling. He actually, I don't know if it was him or is it his pops last year? We hinted at him being able to do more, but he wasn't. No.
His pops on Anthony's show basically said he said we're looking at Marcus Smart And Anthony was like, "Oh, because he's a veteran, you want to see him do better." And he said, "No, because we're going to take his spot." And he said, "Just imagine what's going to happen when Taylor Jenkins lets him start shooting his mid range." I was like,
Right. He said that. I remember
number one, dude is crazy, but okay, cool. I like the mid range game. Like if you want to do that."
And I'm seeing it now. Like I'm seeing that look, no, you're not, like not like a whole lot, but you're seeing it at the right moments. You can tell it's in him. And yeah, it's looking good so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to ask you this. There's been in the comment section, people are saying, kind of hinting around this. Even Wayno came out and said, I'm a bit worried about Ja. Is there anything that you're seeing out of Ja that you're worried about?
What is he worried about? I'm trying to get it because I'm like tonight. So I would say this. So I didn't come to last night's game, but I heard about like Ja Morant taking accountability. And what I'm saying is, I'm not worried about Ja because he does seem the maturity level seems to be different this year. The background seems much different. He just seems like he has even more a better grasp of knowing, yeah, this is my team. I'm the leader. I'm gonna take responsibility. We're gonna come out and be better tomorrow. They came out with belts tonight, right? It felt like he was getting teammates more involved. I know the first game he scored 35, but he only had 3 assists. I don't remember how many assists he had last night. Tonight he had like 6. Tonight he had like 8. It felt like he was getting his team involved because he had 7 assists at halftime, right? Felt like he was more like trying to make sure that everybody else got going. Because like historically, in Ja Morant's era of the Grizzlies, they've been better when he's been the facilitator.
Yes.
And he scored like 20 or something. But it was some crazy stat like when he scored like 30, 40 points. They had a losing record.
Yeah.
But when he had like 18, 17, 18, 19, 20 points, they were like 8, 9, 10
like
assists.
8, 9, 10 assists.
Yeah,
they were
killing, right?
They were devastating, right? Like a devastating team. And I wonder, like that's kind of what I felt about, I've seen a couple of people commenting about Ja Morant, and my response to it is I love to see the facilitating Ja. I love to see the guy, the Ja Morant, who has enough trust in his teammates to where he's getting them the ball where they need to get it and they can score. That means what he's doing is he's a willing distributor, and the guys around him are putting the ball in the basket like that. If we're focused in on Ja Morant scoring 30 points, 35 points a game to win games, I think that's a recipe for disaster for the Grizzlies in a lot of ways. But if you can have a Ja Morant who is getting his 19, 20 points a game, but also getting close to double-digit assists, man, that to me feels like the sweet spot for the Grizzlies. Don't you think?
Yeah, because if he has to do it night in, night out, I mean, he's capable of it, right? But he's not SGA, right? That's SGA's role with the Thunder. He's playing point. He's at the point guard position, but he's required to be just that scorer, right? Ja Morant is more of a playmaking type point guard that just happens to be able to be an amazing scorer, right? And he loves to get his teammates involved. So I think it's definitely a good mix. We've seen him average almost 30, but also still getting his teammates involved. So that's very possible. But I mean, so far this season, Josh been fine. But also remember this: his ankle he's still recovering. He's playing, right? He wearing ankle braces for a reason. So also keep that in mind. Like he's pushing through, he's making sure he's after for the team, and he's still doing pretty well, making sure the teammates get involved. Wow, hey, if they need me to score, guess what? Call 12.
Yeah. Wayno comes back and he says, just feels like a lack of focus, childish chirping, and complaining about calls. Sounds like you're describing it sounds like you're describing Draymond Green, like who is a 4-time championship winner and will be a Hall of Famer. The only reason that I think Draymond is as appreciated is because he's won a lot of stuff. He's won a lot, right? But this is just, and I agree with you, Parish. This is just this is who he is, right? Like maybe not
always complain.
Maybe not the lack of focus. Maybe I don't know if I necessarily agree with the lack of focus part, but the childish chirping and the complaining about calls, that's Ja. And that's like 90% of the rest of the league. Everybody complains. Every superstar thinks they get fouled. If they miss a shot, they think they get fouled, right? Every time.
Yeah, go ahead, Parish.
I would say this, like I remember last year I used to get frustrated with Ja doing it, and he would not get back on defense. I'm actually seeing when he do now. I see him. He actually getting back. Like he's complaining, but he's getting back. Right. He's definitely playing like way better defense and make sure he gets back on the other end. Last year, now not so much. So I understand.
I mean, look at when they called that double tech too. It was after Ray J. Dennis. It was after the final rebuttal from Ray J. Dennis. So the double tech wouldn't have been there if Dennis didn't say the magic 2 words at the end that gets the double tech.
Right.
So,
and I ain't gonna lie, I actually missed that double take part because simultaneously we had the versus battle, No Limit versus Cash Money, so I had that in my ear playing. So I missed the double take part.
Hey, Parish is a man of he's got a lot of things he likes to do. Who won the No Limit Cash Money battle tonight?
Yeah, I think No Limit smoked them, but I don't know. they
Really?
that giant. Cash Money Cash Money got hits. They did well, but No Limit had the answer every time.
Did they play Mystical's music even with him being not there because he's in jail?
They played the one with Snoop Dogg, Down for My. They definitely played that one. It's because Snoop Dogg was there.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. When that announcement came out that No Limit and Cash Money were doing the verses, I was like, I looked at my wife and I was like, listen, man, I know that everybody thinks Cash Money's going to wipe the floor because they've got bangers for days, but man, No Limit's got a nice catalog of hits.
I mean, they dropped like 18 albums in 1 year. I think it was 1998. Crazy, man.
Wayno said Parish still in preseason mode. Watching versus battles. Hey, listen, I don't get to go up there to the pinnacle level to where all the reporters are, but I have a feeling most of y'all aren't watching the games that intently.
Oh yeah, man. Especially tonight. If I want watching versus, we got football on. So it's something duty up there all the time.
Yeah. Man, what a night for Memphis athletics. What a day for Memphis athletics. The Grizzlies get their comeback. After last weekend, the Grizzlies needed the Memphis Tigers came back, scored 17 unanswered in the fourth quarter to beat USF in the was it 34-31. Then the Grizzlies bounced back from an embarrassing loss last night and put a beat down on Indiana.
Also, how many times? Go ahead, Parish. You got it.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Jared, man. I was about to mention. I'm saying I'm sorry because I was about to mention Memphis came back and won 34-31. Similar to who they came back on earlier this season, won 32-31.
Gosh, man. All good. We 2-6 now. So anyway, but no. How many times, Kenny and Parish, you games us do last season? After a blowout like that, do we come out and do the same thing and look even worse sometimes?
Man, I don't know. I didn't get. I'll be honest with you. I didn't get to watch a ton of Grizzlies games last year.
Last season,
it just felt like last season we would come out even flatter sometimes after a beatdown.
Yeah,
I know. I'd say this. It did feel like we would come out flat, but then we would still end up winning.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of weird. It was like their offense was just like they were number one offense for a long time.
Yeah.
I remember specifically the Detroit game. They came out sluggish, but then they fell down by like 18, but they came back and won by 20. Then they had that Charlotte game where they were up by like 30 and then they just slowed down and only won by 15. It was
I guess where I'm getting at is like tonight it just felt like in that first quarter, yes, the first like 5 minutes were a little slow, but that was just overall, not just us. It was slow with Indiana too. But throughout that entire game, it just felt like we came out and looked more poised and ready after a beat down the night before on our home floor.
Oh yeah, definitely. And because even like the game started slow, it was more because they were just missing shots.
Yeah.
But the intensity was there, right? The defense. That was the reason Indiana was slow starting because it was just a defensive first quarter.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were just paying more attention to detail. Man, after you lose like that last night, you got to come out like that, right?
You got to respond. Yeah.
It's also love, like you think like NBA, you can get beat down like this, but you got it back to back. You got a game the next night. And football, you gotta wait. You gotta wait another week.
Right.
You got soaking there for all week.
That's what I said on last night's post game bounce with Luke. I said, what did I like about last night's game? The fact that we have another one tomorrow night. That you have to turn the page and move on, right? Like even with this win tonight, we have to turn the page and move on.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies fly to Golden State, and they play the Warriors on Monday night. And let me tell you, man, I know you're a fan. I know you're a Jimmy Butler guy. Jimmy Butler has rewound the clock for the Golden State Warriors, man. They look awesome already this year. They look really good.
Yep, he's playing his role. You could tell, like when he first got traded last year, he enjoyed it. He enjoyed playing with Steph, and unfortunately, Steph went down the playoffs, and he had to go back to number one role. You could tell he didn't want to be in that no more. So I think he's in the role he wants to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Parish, while we wrap up, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can read your stuff, where they can see you, where they can hear you talk.
Oh yeah, man, definitely, man. The _DAONE_P Shark on Twitter. Read my stuff at BeautifulBears.com. Pretty much dropping something every day, right? So you can read all my work there. Read me, and I got some contributors as well to the site as well. So yeah, read all my content there, and of course catch me on Bluff City Media. I'll be on same show here and there. I'll be on post game bounce here and there. So I'm always around somewhere.
Absolutely. Jared, where can they find you at?
You can find me on X, JB_Davidson_. And yeah, I mean, right now you can find me on Daily Grind Wednesdays through Fridays with Luke Hatmaker, sometimes Mondays, Tuesdays if needed. But yeah, that's where you can find me too, here out on Bluff City Media.
And the College Football Saturday show.
Yeah, College Football Saturday shows.
Grind City Brewing, and you kill it. Have a good time with that show live at Grind City Brewing. I think the next one is November 1st, right?
Yeah, this upcoming Saturday.
Yeah, this upcoming Saturday.
A week from
we're
today.
Going to be out there. Yeah, we're going to be out there next Saturday. We still haven't picked the time yet. It kind of changes up depending on what everybody's schedule looks like. It's usually either going to be 1:30 or 5:30 in the afternoon. So come and hang out with us there. You can follow me at just Bluff City Media. I'm all over the network, so just come follow me there. Come hang out with me over there. We have a good time. Mainly on the Anthony.
Kenny's clapback tweets for Memphis football are always on the Bluff City Media page.
I love it. But I help produce Anthony Sain's show at 1 p.m. every Monday through Friday, every day of the week, except for Saturday and Sunday. We have a good time. 1 p.m. It's a wild show. We have a good time. So come hang out with us. The Grizzlies win tonight, 128-108 against the Indiana Pacers. They are now 2-1 on the season, heading off to Golden State to play the Warriors Monday night. Guys, thank y'all so much. This has been the post-game bounce, and we will see you back here next time.